0. Microphone audio. Transit. Double tap to open.
Okay, good morning everybody. My name is Penny Stevenson and I'm an orientation and mobility specialist for my own company, Footpaths to Freedom. I'm an independent provider of orientation and mobility services here in Australia, and I can provide you with services under the National Disability Insurance Scheme if you're self-managed or plan managed. So I've got a Facebook page, check me out. Today I want to talk about the Transit app, and I'm because it's a really great free public transport app that works worldwide in a lot of different locations. So it's a good one to know about, and it works quite nicely with Voiceover, and it's got some features that Move It doesn't have. So I really like it a lot. Today, in this first session, I'm just going to sort of show you the basic screen layout, and then I'm going to do another one where I go into different features in a bit more detail. Okay, so I'm just showing you the app icon. So if you do have some vision, you know what you're looking for in the App Store. It's a green background with a white squiggly thing on it. It sort of looks like a sideways S, and Transit is spelt Transit. Okay, so I'm going to go in and show you the main screen.
Transit. Tracking. Button. Activate to change tracking option.
Okay, so this is the main screen. At the moment, the voiceover focus is on the tracking button. This is a really great button to know about, particularly when you're out traveling. It's the same button that is used in Apple Maps, and it's got 2 layers of information, but we'll come back to it when we're looking at the Go screen. What I generally like to talk to people about is just about generally navigating apps, because often people say, I want to download a new app, but, I need someone to help me go through it and I don't want to break it. And I just kind of think, just have an explore. With VoiceOver, you can't really break anything. You can just have a bit of a look around, see what it reads out to you without even doing anything. So I generally say to people that most...
Facebook. Notification.
Sorry, everyone.
Line or destination.
Yeah, I basically say that most apps have 3 different sections. So there's going to be a top bit, a middle bit, and a bottom bit. So generally the top bit is going to, when you go into places, into things where you're typing information, there's usually going to be a back button, there might be a done button. Usually the back button's in the top left-hand corner, usually the done button's in the top right-hand corner. And I generally kind of think about this as sort of the menu bar, because I go back to, good old Windows days. So I generally think about it as my menu bar. The centre part of my screen is likely to have the main body of information. So it might be the general information about what you're reading. And then the bottom bit is likely to be some kind of tab information, different things that you can change. With Transit, it has got 3 sections, but it's slightly different in layout. So I'm going to start in the top left-hand corner, just under the time.
Itinerary button.
The first button we see is the itinerary button. Now this one you can go in and it's like getting directions in Google Maps. You type in your start destination, your end destination, that kind of thing. I'll explore that one in a separate podcast. I'm going to flick right.
Search line or destination. Search line or destination. Text field. Double tap to edit.
Okay, so in here I can actually go and type in a place name, like a landmark, an address, a piece of public transport, like a bus number or a tram number, and it will bring up suggestions for me, and then I can actually select those places and do different things like pretend I'm there, get directions, all sorts of things. But as I said, I'll explore that in a separate podcast as well.
Options button.
We've got an options button. So this is where we can select things to let the app know about. So maybe we don't like taking buses. So we can actually choose that we never want to take a bus, and it won't show us bus options. Now, if I flick right, it's actually VoiceOver is going to skip over the main part of the screen that is currently taken up by a map view. And it's going to tell me the closest piece of public transport to me.
780 Frankston, Carrum. Direction Frankston Station / Young Street. Next departure room 43, 73, 103 minutes. At stop unit Ave / Fortescue Ave. Double tap to change direction. Actions available.
Okay, so that gave me quite a lot of information. It told me that it's showing me the closest stop to me. So it's telling me that it's the 780 bus. It's told me the next 3 departure times. So there's one.
180 Frankston, Carrum.
So I'm just going to tell VoiceOver to be quiet. It told me that there was one in 42 minutes, some ungodly number of minutes, like 80, 92 minutes or something like that, and then over an hour or something, 2 hours away. So it tells you the next 3 departure times. It then also tells you what direction the bus is going in and then what stop you're at, so the name of the stop name. If I double tap now, it's going to change direction.
Direction 2 of 2, 780 Frankston, Carrum. Direction Carrum. Next departure in 10, 40, 70 minutes. At stop McCulloch Ave / Fortescue Ave.
Yeah, great. So I can then also just flick down through this list.
779 Belvedere, Frankston. 832 Frankston, Carrum Downs. 901 Melbourne Airport, Frankston. 778 Cannonook Station, Carrum Downs. Direct Frankston Line, Frankston. Direction City. Next departure in 1 real time. 11 real time. 21 real time minutes. At stop Cannonook Station. Double tap to change direction. Actions available.
So I flicked down until I got to my local train station, which is about 10 minutes away. So you can see that the buses are slightly closer to me than the train is. If you've got some low vision, you might be able to see that the buses... So I'm just going to tell VoiceOver to be quiet. You can tell that the buses are orange because in Victoria, where I'm doing this podcast from, that's the colour that the public transport system denotes as the bus colour. So the buses are in an orange colour. The trains have introduced their own colour coding system, so each line has a specific colour, and Transit uses that colour-coded information as well. So this Frankston line is this sort of maroony colour. The Upfield line, for example, is yellow. The Upfield, Craigieburn, Water Gardens, that kind of thing are yellow. And so that will be represented too. And the trams are green. So you'll see that in the on your app as well. If you've got low vision, that might be useful for you. Now, the thing that you might have noticed is that when it talked about the trains, it said real time. So our trains are now using real time information to track when the trains are arriving. So you're actually getting sort of, as it happens, information from this app, which is kind of neat. Well, that sort of finishes me off for today. About the main screen, and I'm going to do another recording about some of the other features. Okay, thanks for joining me. Bye.
Frankston line, Franks 8, 26.